Crittenden County Basketball would like to thank these fine sponsors: Mark Williams, Whitetail Properties, re-elect Bart Frazer, County Attorney, Farmers Bank and Trust, Nathan Ratley at Marion Recycling, Livingston Hospital, H&H Home and Hardware, Tanner Tabor at YTG Insurance, First United Bank in Marion, elect Chad Nelson, Crittenden County Attorney, Colby Davis and West Kentucky Launchpad, Stuart Haberlock's Preferred Tree and Land, Lone Star Construction, Ellington Detailing, Roy Crane's Tire and Equipment Rental, Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, Jared Champion at JRC Kennels, Megan Roberts, Chiropractic and Wellness, Kenny Locke and Superior Exteriors, H&R Block of Marion, and Stark's Sports Training.
Welcome, Rocket fans. My name is Trace Darrington. I'm your host for this week's Coaches Show, and I'm joined with Coach Shannon Hodge this week. I want to thank you for being here so much.
Thanks for having me.
So you get your first district win about a week ago against Livingston, and y'all looked really good in that game. You take a big win, and then you go into Callaway County, and you kind of that's like a dud. I can just kind of just kind of say with y'all, it's just kind of a dud game, which they are very good. Though. They are very good. But our girls are very good too.
Yeah.
So to see that score, I personally think later in the season, you play that game again, score is going to be different.
Right.
But last night is the talk of the town. You go in, hard-fought game to the very end. You end up going to overtime. So tell me about that game before overtime and what you were seeing from your girls.
What we knew going in, Lyon County, the thing that they do, that's in it, you're going to get it every night is they're going to play hard, they're going to play scrappy, they're going to go to the boards hard, they shoot the ball well. And so we knew all those things, and we knew we had to play, some up-tempo defense and try to keep them off the boards. We didn't do a great job of that. The first possession, I think they had 2 offensive boards in the first possession. And so, we struggled with that throughout the game. It got better as we went. But, going in, it's a huge game. That game has kind of become the rivalry game that was between Crittenden and Livingston years and years ago. But it's a friendly rivalry. I have a good relationship with those coaches going back to Jeff Doom and Don Cottom. And last night, Coach Baker wasn't able to be there. He had he's gotten a new job and had to do some training and couldn't get those dates switched. And so Coach DeFew was there, and I know him really well. And so, hats off to Lyon County for a great game. But I thought our girls played pretty well on the defensive end. When we did have lapses, they were able to expose that. We got caught with looking the other way, then went back door a few times. A few times that we did not handle screens well, they capitalized off of. But I thought through, we're getting better in the half court defensively, which I feel like we have to do. We shot the ball well early, and we're a team that if we see those things go in early, we that kind of fuels us. I'm more of a defensive-minded coach, to be really honest. It's taken a long time for me to come around to really loving the 3-ball very much. But that is something that we can do well. And so when we choose the right times to shoot those shots, we shoot a pretty high percentage. So it was great to see those go in early, and you always breathe a sigh of relief when those first few go in, because you feel like that's gonna keep us rolling.
Yeah, and so we go into the fourth and we're up 10, and then the mood kind of shifts and Lyon County makes their push to take out of overtime. What was the girls' response to being in that huddle and then going out to overtime?
Well, we knew they were going to, again, try to turn up the pressure defensively. In the past, they have played kind of a 3-quarter court, diamond in one, or 1-2-2, and they came out with it a little more full court, which I think kind of threw our girls off just a little bit as far as the spots and the things we were thinking about doing. But, we did not respond well getting to the right spots and then being confident with the ball once it crossed half court. And that's something that the coach is going to have to set up some stuff for us to work on.
Yeah.
And, we have to try harder and harder to simulate that kind of pressure against each other in our practices so that we're more ready for that. But, I would really like to feel like we're a little more experienced and a little more veteran than we acted last night in that situation where we had the 10-point lead, because even when we did get it in the half court, early in that quarter, or really throughout the quarter, our shot selection wasn't the greatest. I don't think we got any offensive boards much. And, we let that a few times affect our intensity on the defensive end of the floor. We kind of got a little frustrated offensively and didn't pick ourselves up defensively. But I will say, though, Lyon County's a good team. I mean, they're one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the region. And so to allow them to go on that run and go into overtime after we've had the big lead and then be able to hang on to win the game, I'm proud of the girls for that.
Yeah. And while that was such a big headline of y'all going into overtime and pulling that game out, there was something maybe even bigger, and which is Anna Boone goes into the history books as now the second all-time leading scorer in Crittenden girls basketball history. So tell me, how does that feel as a coach to have somebody like Anna that you've coached, her whole career, in high school? So tell me how it feels to see a girl hit that milestone, and then how you expect her to keep responding after hitting that.
Yeah, well, Anna's a great player. She's a scorer. She is. She shoots the ball so well. She gets to the rim well. She has a nice pull-up jumper. So, Anna is a blessing for me to have as a player, and it's been neat watching her grow and stuff as a ball player. I think it's a tribute to the program to have these kids that are meeting those milestones. It's not only a tribute to them; it's a tribute to their teammates, because basketball is definitely not a single person game. It's a 5-player game, and so we've had now first Cassidy Moss that had exceeded Jeannie Hinchy, which held the scoring record for a long time, and then Taylor Guess bumped ahead of Cassidy Moss, and now with Anna going ahead of Cassidy, and she's chasing Taylor now. That's kind of a neat feeling because some of those records were in place for a long time. So, again, it's just a tribute to the program, to the kids as a whole, the teams as a whole, and then these individual players that work hard to develop their skills.
Absolutely.
And I'm really proud for Anna, and I'm not a big one to make a big deal out of a lot of stats or anything, and we normally, when you pass somebody on the scoring rate, we don't stop a game and give them a ball or anything like that. But I think if you ask Anna, though, she's the kind of kid, as all these girls are, she just wanted to win a whole lot more, and she wanted to do that. And so, nothing was set up for her to do that, but she just plays a regular game. I told her, the only thing I said to her before the game, I didn't even talk to her about that. I just said, go have fun.
Yeah.
Just go have fun. Don't let weight sit on your shoulders. Go have a good time in this game, playing this game. We always say we're going to play the game that we love with the people that we love. And, she does that, and I'm really proud of her.
Yeah, the fun of basketball is competition. And I think as long as you just keep reminding the kids of that, they will continue to do that. So you play Carlisle tomorrow night. And something didn't happen last night that I think a lot of the fans and even her teammates and herself thought was going to happen. But I don't think it discouraged her. I watched her throughout the game. A couple shots didn't fall, but she said, I'm not going to let that just completely ruin my night. I'm going to turn around, say, the girl in front of me is just not going to kill me. She's not going to have the night that she thinks she might have or wants to have. And Elliot didn't hit her 1,000.
Right.
But you and I both, and so many other people have so much belief in her that she's just going to do her thing. Continue to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and Elliot, I really didn't talk to Elliot about that either before the game. I don't want to make him nervous or feel like that there's a lot of pressure on him at all. But Elliot is our leader defensively, and she gets after it as she did last night, and she takes shots when they come to her. I would like to have seen her as well as everybody else on our team attack the gaps of their zone a little bit more. I feel like she might have scored a little more. We might have been a little bit better off if we would have done that, or I know we would have. But Elliot's going to get that 1,000, and it's going to be neat to have two players on the team that have reached that milestone. And she just, again, it means more to her to get that win last night than it did to get the 1,000 points. I'm sad that she won't be able to do that potentially in front of her home crowd, but she'll get it, and it'll be a great celebration again for not just her but for the team.
There's so many other records that they might be smaller records in the sense of like most steals in a game or something like that. You can always shoot for a record in front of your home crowd and maybe go for that. So that's I just think something that you can do something for your hometown. You'll be all right.
Yeah. And while we're talking about the hometown, my goodness, Rocket Nation showed up last night, loud and proud.
That was awesome.
For a Tuesday night this close to Christmas time,
yes.
I just want to say thanks to all you guys out there that came to the game and are supporting our team. It's really, really is. It does mean something to be able to look up in the stands and see you guys out there. So Rocket Nation, we really send out a big thank you to you.
So, what is the message to your girls going into this game against Carlisle tomorrow night?
We've had, in the last 3 games, we've had 2 big district wins. As you said, on Saturday, we kind of laid a little bit of an egg down to McCracken against Callaway County, who's a very good team, but we're really disappointed in our effort there. But, we just have to kind of take one game at a time. That's what we're doing. I don't really look ahead a lot.
Yeah.
We just take one at a time, and Carlisle County, I know, has a couple of pretty good players, and we just have to try to work to contain them. And, we've talked about continuing to build our identity. What's a team going to get every night when they face us, and what do we want them to be a little nervous about when we walk in the gym, and so we're trying to grow that identity on the defensive end of the floor. Buy into that and really become a strong lockdown half-court man-to-man defensive team and be able to throw different defenses on people that might throw them off here and there. Our 12 press was good to us for a little while in the first half last night. But just continue to try to strive to get better at something individually and as a team. I think that's what we need to continue to do every day, whether it's practice or game.
So, in a second, I'm about to bring on 2 of your girls. We've already talked about one of them, in Elliot, and then I'm going to have Briston on.
Right.
So, tell me about both of those girls and how you expect them to respond to me
whenever
I bring them on here.
Well, they shouldn't be lacking for words. They're both talkers,
Yes.
so they ought to be fun to interview. But they're good kids. Like I said, Elliot's our defensive specialist, 3-point shooter. Sets the tone for us defensively. She's really emerged lately as a vocal leader. I've been asking that of her, and she's responded to that, and I'm proud of her for that. Briston Rushing, just has so much potential. I think she had 7 or 8 rebounds last night in some key moments. She's had some big nights scoring for us too. She's the tallest kid on our team, and I continue to say, she and Morgan Stuart and Andrew Federico are the X factors for us. When those 3 in the post have good nights, we're hard to beat. And so, they're both, huge cogs in our wheel, and do a great job for us. So.
Yeah. Well, Shannon, I want to thank you for being in the first part of this, and we will be back with you in 2 weeks. So,
all
Rocket
right.
fans, we're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back with Elliot and Briston.
All right.
Lady Rockets and Rockets want to thank the following businesses for supporting digital basketball content this season.
Mark Williams and Whitetail Properties.
Re-elect Bart Frazer, County Attorney.
Farmers Bank and Trust.
Nathan Ratley at Marion Recycling.
Livingston Hospital.
H&H Home and Hardware.
Tanner Tabor at YTG Insurance.
First United Bank in Marion.
Elect Chad Nelson, Crittenden County Attorney.
Colby Davis in West Kentucky Launchpad.
Stuart Haberlock's Preferred Tree and Land.
Lone Star Construction.
Ellington Detailing.
Roy Crane Tire and Equipment Rental.
Johnson's Furniture and Appliance.
Jared Champion at JRC Kennels.
Megan Roberts Chiropractic and Wellness.
Kenny Locke and Superior Exteriors.
H&R Block, Marion, Kentucky. And Stark's Sports Training.
Welcome back, Rocket fans. I'm here with Elliot in Bristol. So, guys, you in this last 3-game stretch, you have 2 big district wins, and then you kind of had a little bit of a dud against Callaway, but they're a very good team. So, maybe if you play that game later in the season, however that may be, maybe y'all get them back, or I think the score will be a little bit different. So, last night, y'all had a game that had so much energy, from everybody. So, Briston, I'll start with you. Just tell me a little bit about the crowd last night and what you thought of that game also.
Last night, the crowd, we felt all the support from Rocket Nation, and we feel that with every game. And last night, having the crowd we had, I think really helped a lot. And they were cheering and supporting us the whole way through.
Elliot, what do you think?
I think I agree with Briston. Having the crowd behind us really makes us want to work harder and really win the game.
So, last night y'all was up 10 and, going into the 4th. And then they kind of make a little bit of a comeback and then take y'all to overtime. How did you feel, Elliot, going into overtime?
I just knew we got to stay calm, do what we do, just calm down and not try to force anything.
Absolutely. Briston, what was your, you kind of ran into a little bit of foul trouble kind of getting in later to the game. So what was your mindset going into that overtime?
Going into the overtime, I kind of looked at it as the start to the game, the first 4 minutes of the game, that it's 0-0 and we have to come out wanting to win, knowing we're going to win.
Absolutely. And how did it feel, the game is over and there was a big milestone hitting that game and your teammate Anna becomes the second all-time leading scorer. How did that feel? Elliot, you and Anna are very close. So how did that feel? Being close with her on the court and off the court, how did that just kind of feel as a friend to see, your teammate and friend do that?
I was really proud of her. She's my best friend, so I'm always proud of her accomplishments. But last night, I was really proud that she reached that milestone that she's been wanting.
So, Briston, she, her being older and, you kind of, looking up to her, whether if it's on the personal side or just on the basketball side, you take a little thing from her here or there. How did that feel to see some, an older teammate like that hit a milestone that big?
I know she's worked really hard for it, and she plays in the off season, so really deserving of it.
Yeah. So now, Elliot, I love you, okay? But last night, a lot of people were expecting you to hit your 1,000, and that just didn't happen. But we understand that that's just part of basketball. So tell me what your mindset was. You go out early, you hit a 3, and then some other shots just don't kind of fall. How did you feel going throughout that game, and how did your mindset maybe change?
So obviously I wanted to get my 1,000 last night. I was only 7 away. But sometimes it doesn't go like you planned.
Absolutely.
So I just knew if I wasn't scoring, I just need to lock down on defense, and we needed to get the win, whether I get it or not.
Do you feel like you are the tone setter for this defense?
I say sometimes.
Some games?
Some games, when I really have that dog mentality.
Absolutely.
Going out, just playing tough defense, I think I do. But sometimes I do lay down a little.
Yeah.
So, but I'm trying not to do that as much.
Absolutely. So Briston, tomorrow y'all will play Carlisle County at Carlisle County. So what do y'all think y'all will take from last night's game and try to do better when y'all play tomorrow?
I think last night, going into tomorrow, to not panic when we get up in the last several minutes of the game, because I feel it's a thing for us. The last 3 minutes is we go into a panic. And just to not take last night and learn from that, and to just break that habit of panicking.
Elliot, so when you play Carlisle tomorrow, you just want to get back into your rhythm of doing things that you do well. How do you expect yourself to go into this next coming up game?
I think I just need to calm down a little and not so much worry about getting my 1,000, just going and scoring and doing what we need to do to win and giving my part to that.
Absolutely. And then you'll come back, you'll get a little bit of a break, So, and then eventually y'all will go down to Florida. So tell me about that, because I know y'all are excited. So tell me how y'all feel, about going to Florida and stuff. You want to go?
Okay. I'm really excited. When we went freshman year, it was really fun having Taylor, Natalie, and Addie go with us. So it was a good experience. We played really good teams. So I'm excited to go to the parks and stuff.
Absolutely. Briston, how do you feel?
I'm excited for it. It's we get to go and play basketball, but at the same time, we get to spend all that time with each other, and it's new faces instead of the ones we've seen for the last 3 years.
Absolutely.
So.
So what outside of just playing basketball in Florida, you said the parks. What else do y'all love about being able to go? Because that's a different experience than it is going to play a tournament in Nashville or Louisville or something like that. So, is it maybe the food, or is it maybe you just get to meet random people? What is it that you love, besides the basketball and besides the parks, Elliot, that you like to go? The churros.
The churros. The churros are so good.
The chocolate croissants.
Yes, at breakfast.
At breakfast.
Oh, and flying the airplane.
Briston, not a flyer?
I felt passed out on the way.
Oh, no.
We didn't fly on the way down there, but I
that's
felt
okay.
down.
It happened.
Yeah, the way
happened.
down there was traumatic.
So we're talking about some of y'all's favorite things to do when you go away like that. So tell me about what's been y'all's favorite memory throughout your basketball career. Elliot, we'll start with you.
I'd say the All-A last year in Owensboro. It was really fun. We got to skip a whole week of school. We just kept winning. And we ate really good, so that was fun.
What's with you and food? You really like food, don't you?
I'm a big snacker. Okay.
So Briston, whether if it is, maybe you're still waiting for that really big moment to happen that's going to be your favorite, but so far through your basketball career, what's been your favorite moment?
I probably have to agree with Elliot. All A week is probably like the best week out of like all of it, because like it's just a week. Like we get to play basketball, but like Orlando, we get to spend the week like with each other and just have fun.
Yeah. So we talked off camera about some of your other favorite parts of basketball, and one thing you wanted me to ask you about was pregame rituals.
Yes.
Tell Elliot. I want to start with you because you're the most excited. Tell me about your favorite pregame ritual and what you do.
So every time we go into the locker room before we run out and do our little
warm-ups.
Yeah, warm-ups. So we go in as just the team, and we play our pregame song, and then we play Who Let the Dogs Out, because Coach Hodge really wants us to be dogs.
Yep.
So that just gets us pumped up. And then she comes in, and she gives her little speech, and then we eat dog food, which is just Slim Jims.
Okay.
So we all take that and pass it around, and then take Rocket Fuel, which is blue Gatorade, and we all take a sip, and then after everybody goes through, Coach Hodge chugs it, and then smacks it across her head, and that's our favorite part.
That is awesome.
Yep.
So, that's like, y'all's little team pregame ritual. Briston, I'll start with you. Do you have a personal pregame ritual that you do before?
Not really. I try not to stress myself out
Of course.
before. Think about it a lot.
I feel like you have a pregame ritual, Elliot, just by yourself.
Oh.
Do you have one, or would you say you just wait for the big team ritual, and that is like your thing?
Yeah, I kind of just wait for that. The only thing I really do away games is I take me a little nap on the bus. I just put my AirPods in and just let my music play and take a nap. Try to calm down, not work myself up too much.
Absolutely. So, after y'all, when will y'all go to Florida? When will that be?
The 28th.
The 28th. So you'll go the 28th and then come back, and then you've got a game January 3rd, and that is Mayfield. And then you'll come in and play a couple district games. How are y'all looking at those district games? Do you want to just go on this big run, with these district games, or are you really trying to just take it slow, just one game at a time?
We obviously want to sweep the district, so we want to win those district games. But I think we just need to take it one game at a time and just focus on the game we have ahead, and not get too ahead of ourselves.
Briston, what are you looking forward to most coming up besides Florida?
After Florida, just to continue, to play like we've been playing, and just to continue to get better.
Well, I hope you guys have had fun and it didn't stress you out too much. So I want to thank you guys for being here, and we want to thank you Rocket fans for the support last night and the continued support, and we will be back next week. Thank you.
Crittenden County Basketball would like to thank these fine sponsors: Mark Williams, Whitetail Properties, re-elect Bart Frazer, County Attorney, Farmers Bank and Trust, Nathan Ratley at Marion Recycling, Livingston Hospital, H&H Home and Hardware, Tanner Tabor at YTG Insurance, First United Bank in Marion, elect Chad Nelson, Crittenden County Attorney, Colby Davis and West Kentucky Launchpad, Stuart Haberlock's Preferred Tree and Land, Lone Star Construction, Ellington Detailing, Roy Crane's Tire and Equipment Rental, Johnson's Furniture and Appliance, Jared Champion at JRC Kennels, Megan Roberts, Chiropractic and Wellness, Kenny Locke and Superior Exteriors, H&R Block of Marion, and Starks Sports Training.